go over 3 while you're done.
I understand. I understand. Well, good evening. My name is Jason Crowell, and I want to start, most importantly, to say the best thing I've got going for me is my wife, Casey. And she's right back there. Casey, if you would stand up, if you guys could welcome her, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. At least one Crowell's going to get an applause line tonight, so I really do appreciate that. It's definitely a pleasure for me to be here. Stop spending, stop spending, stop spending. Does everyone agree that that's the problem that's going on in Washington, D.C.? That when you spend like they spend, it is not sustainable. Casey and I are in this race because we believe that life is a gift, a precious gift given by God, that we have a covenant with each other, and that is to leave our community better than it was given to us. It's not happening in Washington, D.C., folks. We're racking up bills and we're giving them to our children and our grandchildren. Why we're in this race is because for 12 years in Jefferson City, I've done more than anyone else you'll hear from tonight about stopping spending. From standing up to Governor Holden and even some of our own Republicans on the rainy day fund fights, all the way through to baseball stadiums, to just this recently fighting the China hub. I led the efforts to reform tax credits to stop spending, and I'm the only one that has passed a bill that will save you, the taxpayers, over $600 million in state worker pension reform. Folks, I know about how to control spending. I know how to stop spending. I got the scars in my back from Republicans and Democrats that I stood up to do one simple thing: respect all those tax dollars you send to government. I can do this, and with your help, and I'm asking for your help, your support, and your prayers, one person can make a difference, and I hope to be that person.
Okay, the first question. In selecting our candidate, we expect to do better. We want Missouri to do better. We are close to losing what has made us strong and what makes America great. Our country is $16 trillion in debt. Our current leader wants a blank check. Joanne Emerson voted yes on what they are calling over the cliff. How do you think that could have been handled differently?
Number one, I would have never put us in that position. All right? The fiscal cliff was a man-made disaster. The politicians voted for it. It reminded me of hearing the arsonist getting mad about the building he set on fire. So we've got to make tough decisions. As I said, as a freshman legislator, I voted no to the rainy day fund and I cut. And we didn't let Holden have more money. Why anybody that represents you would give D.C. more money is beyond me. I wouldn't give Jeff City any more money for baseball stadiums, to tax credits, to anything else. So the fiscal cliff should have never happened. And we should have actually done what every Republican said they would do, and that was to cut spending, not give government more money.
Okay, there are 435 districts in the U.S. Our district is rated the 8th poorest out of that 435. Out of the 9 districts in Missouri, it is rated the poorest. The median income is $27,865, with the household income in Dent County of $32,991. What are your plans to change this?
Right to work, right to work, right to work. Folks, we are in competition with not only our neighbor states, but the world. And if we have these unions that are chasing every good-paying job out of our state, we're never going to be able to compete. I led the efforts on right to work, paycheck protection, taking on these unions that are killing economic opportunity. Jobs don't come from tax credits and giveaways and special handouts. They come from opportunities. And we need to open Missouri up to these opportunities, not create more governmental programs to fight the challenges that we have. The best government program is a job, folks. Right to work.
Okay. The candidate selected for this vacancy will have to be capable of raising money. Do you feel you are capable to raise the required funds it will take to win this race? If so, tell us how you plan to do that. And I've been quoted that it'll take $200,000 to $300,000.
Absolutely. I've held office. I've been honored to raise money all across this state for conservatives in the General Assembly. I was first elected your majority floor leader, the first Republican majority floor leader in the House in 48 years. So I have a strong network across the state. I also was elected twice to the Missouri Senate and have raised more than that amount of money in Missouri State Senate races. I feel very confident that with your help, we can raise the funds necessary. I've done it in the past, and the best predictor of future performance is past performance. Look at my record.
There's been much talk about gun control. Here in the Ozarks, most of us have and use guns. This level of freedom is something to be thankful for, and we always want to keep this freedom. The person we select, we want to know without a shadow of a doubt that person would vote to keep this freedom if it comes to that. I'm talking about the Second Amendment.
Look at my record. For 12 years, I've been honored to represent Southeast Missouri in the Missouri General Assembly. 4 in the House, 8 in the Senate. All those years, I've carried an A+ rating with the NRA, was a leader in providing concealed carry, and I have the fundamental belief that our Second Amendment makes all the other amendments possible. And I will stand firm on all the liberal interests, all the moderate Republicans that think in order to get popular with the Post-Dispatch, they need to come out and say, we need to change things with our Second Amendment. It's sacrosanct, folks. We can't compromise it, and I won't.
What is your position on stem cell research?
I've been against it. This is a pro-life issue. You cannot say that you're pro-life and take the money from the Rich Stowers in Kansas City and the Danforths in St. Louis. Believe me, folks, I am not St. Louis City's favorite Republican. All right? Mayor Slay does not like me. John Boehner does not want me to go to D.C. I can promise you. I am pro-life. I am proud to be pro-life. I'm not embarrassed by it, and I will never compromise that value. Embryonic stem cell research, abortion, anything. You can't have conservative values without a fundamental commitment to life.
Okay, we don't want a candidate that will take the easy path and put tough decisions off for another day. Our children and our grandchildren's futures are at stake. Convince us you wouldn't do that and why you are the best candidacy for this vacancy.
All I can tell you is look at my past. Look at my past. I came to Jefferson City as a freshman state rep, and we were at the precipice in Missouri. Carnahan had spent us into oblivion, and we had a choice. We had our own fiscal cliff, folks. And it was strong conservative Republicans that stood up to the moderate Senate at the time in 2002 and said no to the rainy day fund. That set the path that we would not spend your money wastefully, and it led to the prosperity of Missouri. Folks, one person can make a difference, and I feel I've made that difference. There is nobody from Medicaid reform to pension reform to tax credit reform to no to baseball stadiums to no to raiding the rainy day fund and deficit spending than me. And I ask for your support and help. Please look at my record.